Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today, and I'd just like to show you a few adventure rides I've been on the Honda GB350. So I'm in Australia naturally, and I've had this bike now for a bit over 12 months, and I'm doing one of the local crossings on my way into some rough country. So in this area here, like it was the place where I got into, and probably thinking to myself whether or not I'd get out of it, because there was no phone coverage, there by myself, right out in the scrub like miles from nowhere. And you get into situations like that, and you've got to have a lot of confidence in the bike that you're out there riding on, just in case you get out there and it's a one-way trip for you and something goes wrong and it's a long walk out. And this place here would have been a long way out. I only had one real incident on this GB350, and I was hitting on about 80 kilometres an hour when I come to a corner, and the bike failed to negotiate the corner, and I went straight off the road like now into this sort of table drain, and I was very lucky not to come off the bike. And later I put that bike, I got a word from Honda that there'd been a recoil on the sensors of the bike, like the ABS sensors, and it appeared out there was a bit of a fault in them, and if they got wet they caused trouble. But overall I've had that experienced it once, wouldn't like to see it happen again. But this bike itself is a great off-road runner, and once again here I am in the scrub there around where I live, and I often take it out there, and the only thing that runs really is the off-road tyres and the different gearing on the front sprocket. So that bit aside, I think if you're in the market to buy one of these, well worth buying. But more importantly, what I wanted to talk to you about is you just watch these clips as they go through, because I've made shorts of each particular one, and it'll just show you what the bike will do and what it can't. And most of my riding involves off-road or out along the dirt roads around where I live in central New South Wales, Australia. And something that you may be interested in, I tried to get this going when I'm the classic 350s, but it never worked with the guys here, and I don't think they really wanted to see it. So the GB350 guys, if you want to subscribe to the channel and go from there, and if I get enough people interested, I was thinking of going out and doing all different sorts of rides on this bike in this area. And more importantly, when I put the idea to the classic guys going back a year ago, and I thought the response would have been good, but it never happened, I bought a lot of different camping stoves and things like that, roughly about 15 of them I think, and all the camping gear it goes with it. Well, I had no plans in the end of doing that. I think I did a couple of the clips and it never went any further, but I've still got all my fires and all stuff like that I bought, and all the other stuff, and I was going to go out, and we go to places like we're going along now, and if I pull up and you want to watch and make a coffee, things like that, I've got different cameras coming in, I've got drones to use and stuff like that. So overall a really good run of different things in this area I can sort of get into and go from there. So that's something for you to think about if you want to sub to the channel. I'd be able to get out there, like I'll see me getting to the stage in a month or so's time, or maybe two, that the weather will be cooling around, and I've got some really nice rides to waterfalls here and the river crossings, and a lot of wildlife on it. And I've been out there plenty of times and had the drones up and photograph feral goats, kangaroos, everything else what you'd think about. And this is the sort of country we'll be going into now. Like this one, it's a really rough four-wheel drive, or not a four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive here, four-wheel drive when it gets down further. But once again, really nice country, and best thing about where I live, I got the chance, once I get on these dirt roads, I can do miles and kilometres of them, or miles if you're in England or in the USA, where I can get into them and ride no trouble, 50 kilometres, 100 kilometres of dirt road, and still go to, and that's only one area, where on a 360 degree area I've just got a huge amount of riding in different areas where you can go to. And I was thinking I could go out and do some of the scenic shots, and you could just see what the Australian countryside's like. This part of the road here now, I've been to this place a few times, and it's a really nice run up along this section here. And on this particular day they'd been, probably been there a couple of weeks earlier and graded the road. So what they do with these dirt roads, or back roads, which if you look at it either side's private land, and you only got access to the road, so you can't get in there and ride around those paddocks or property owner comes along and catches you, you know, you'll be, chances are he'll probably call the coppers. But as far as that goes, you know, you can get out, ride around these places like that, providing you stay on the road, and you can ride for miles and miles. No one will do anything to you. It's just like a public road. They get along there and grade them every now and again and make them fairly well. You know, you can hit along there 50, 60, 70, 80 kilometres an hour, depending on how things are or what the road conditions are like. This one's a little bit loose on gravel, but you know, it was a place I always like going to and out this way and going for a run, because you can travel quite a bit of distance. And you know, I always take cameras with me, whether it's the adventure camera GoPros or the ordinary digital cameras, and fire them away. And you know, I often run the drone out around here too, so I'll be along there sitting at 50 kilometres an hour and have the drone tracking me, and just depends on what's going on the day, what I'm up to. But what I'm hoping is I get a few people interested in subbing to the channel, and we can go out and we can pull up at places, you know, along the road just like we're at there now, and bring out either the gas stove or a few of the other sorts of stoves I've got there, or wood stoves, and make a coffee alongside the road, have a bit of a talk, go from there. And I think it'd be a fairly interesting setup. This is another area in the back road too, pretty rough road this one. I'm going to go back to this place and just see what it's like now, because these would be graded again, or it'll be worse. That's how it works out this way. They only come in maybe once a year to give them a grading, and then if unfortunately it rains in the week or so after it's done, when it's sort of powdery and smooth, the rain just chops into it, and you'll have channels in it, and in a period of a couple of weeks after that, by the time a few of the four-wheel drives get along, it just knocks them to pieces. Now this area I'm running at now, it's more like, it's a local gold mine area, a place called Ophir, and this is where the first payable gold in Australia was found, in this area. And apparently that little area I was riding on produced quite a lot of gold. But well, like I said, all these ones are just out from where I live, and you know, if I get out here I can strike some of them from just a few kilometres, or I can go out 50 or 80 kilometres and run into them, then into the wild tracks. But this is a fairly wild little track too, and when I got up to the top part, we're in that video there now, you can, I was wondering myself how this GB350 had handled up here. It's a lot steeper than what you think, and a lot rougher, and if you lost footing, or should I say your tyres went up the scratch and you slipped into the left and the bike went down, you'd be in a fair bit of pain and a lot of trouble. So it'd be something, if your bike went down, you may have to go and walk it out and walk 2 or 3 kilometres to the road, and then find someone that's prepared to come down to give you a hand, and that may happen or may not. But you know, that's how things go when you get out in the scrub. Here's another point in a similar area there where they actually try to improve the road now. They put sort of like blue metal over the top of it, or some sort of coarse rock, and I wouldn't say it's any better to go down there. I actually thought the track was better before. So that's something for you to think about. So, you know, if this appeals to you and you'd like to get out and see how things go in this area, and just see what it's like for me to ride the Honda GB350 in different parts of Australia, and pull up, have a coffee on the side of the road, cook something, anything like that, from, like I said, a year or two back, or a couple of years back when I bought all this stuff, I've got a huge amount of stuff there that I've never used because there was not much interest in it. So hopefully, if you're new to the channel and you've got a GB350, or you like adventure, or you might be interested in just seeing what it's like here in the Australian bush, well, I've got all the equipment there to go. It's just that I need a few people to look at it. So you are one of those persons that'd like to say, yeah, I wouldn't mind going on one of these adventure runs with you, bring out the stuff. Well, you'll find I've got it all sitting there, some really nice stuff in amongst it, and I think it'd be an interesting experience for everyone. And you know, I've got access to all these places I can go to and show you something different at the time. Like I said, whether it's waterfalls, some of the local formations here, it'll be coming into autumn in a couple of months, you'll see all the colours in this area change. It's in a cold climate sort of part where I live, or a little bit warmer when I get out, but believe me, I've no shortage of dirt roads I can ride on, and if that sort of dirt road experience and a bit of Australian bush appeals to you, I'd like to see you on the channel. So apart from that, Hope you enjoyed this, and cheers for now.